Let's go, Kenny. Let's go. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you could tell, this is going to be the HRC Honda video, guys. And I cannot be more excited to be making this video because, as you know, Honda's my team. Ken Roczen is my rider. So this is going to be a very fun video for me to make. Thank you for tapping into the third episode of this series, guys. We are doing the 2022 Supercross predictions right now. Last episode, we took a look at Monster Energy Kawasaki. Before that, we took a look at the Red Bull KTM riders. And this episode, we're looking at HRC Honda. Now, I'm looking at the top riders for each team in the 450 class, kind of comparing some stats and gut feelings so we can see if we could predict who's going to be winning this 2022 season. Before we dive into this, guys, I am 11 subscribers away from reaching my goal of 500 by the end of the year. So if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. Everybody likes free stuff. And share this channel with your friends. Share it with your dog. Maybe your dog loves these videos and you just don't know it. Maybe he's in the back. Is he watching with you right now? Is he sitting in the room? Can he hear me? Let everybody know. Subscribe. And let's get into this video. So let's start off with my boy, guys, Ken Roczen. First thing we're going to look at his age at the time of season. So at the time of the season, he's going to be 27 years old racing. Not a bad age at all. Like I've explained in previous videos, due to the statistics on the RacerX website, 26 is going to be the peak age for these riders. Sometime in their 26th year is going to be their peak age for riding. Ken Roczen, 27, not bad. Sure, he's on the downslope now, but he's still at that peak area. His years racing 450. He's been racing 450 for 9 years. I like how I'm so surprised at these stats when I'm the one that pulled them, and these are all in my notes right now. But he's been racing the 450 for 9 years. That's insane. Season 9 years at the age of 27? Dude, this guy was a beast back then. Out of those 9 years racing, he has 19 450 wins. And out of those 9 years, he has been on the podium at the end of the season 4 different times. He's gotten second place 2 years, and he's gotten third place 2 years. So, pretty good. Pretty good. He's been on the podium 4 of the 9 years. That's about half. But still no first place wins. And I don't want to get into all of that because the Ken Roczen and Cooper Webb battles, there could be a lot said there. That could be a whole series in itself, but let's take a look at some of these notes here. Okay, I don't want you guys thinking I'm biased because it's easy to be, but I want you to know that a lot of this video is all information pulled from RacerX, looking at past years, looking at past races, getting into the details and the statistics of everything. So keep that in mind when I'm saying all this, but Ken Roczen really is a fantastic rider. His downfall, however, and the reason why I think he hasn't won any championships yet out of these 9 years is these outlier races he has. He can lay down race after race, fantastic positioning, top 5 easily, but there will be a race or two where he either crashes or just something happens, but he gets buried way back in the pack and gets a terrible position. And what I've seen is when he has those races, the few following that, I think it might be some sort of mental block or something, but he does bad in the following races as well. Maybe not as bad, but still not good enough to be getting him the points he needs to win. So if he can fix those outlier races and the mental block for the race or two after that, he could be winning championships all day. Now, he has talked in the past about mental and emotional blocks and stuff. I think that was mainly after his accidents, but I think, what year was it? 2020? 2020 when COVID hit and they had that weird year where they kept doing all the races in Utah. That was the year he was really working on himself, like mentally, emotionally, and physically and all this stuff. So I think by now he's got that all figured out for the most part. You could still see it every now and then in some interviews and stuff that he still has some emotional or mental blocks, but for the most part, he's ironed out a lot of those. So good on him for that. His track record since he's been starting to race 450 have been mostly podiums, for Supercross or just the motocross off season. except for the few years where, well, the one year he had the terrible accident, so he didn't even get to finish that season. And the following year, he didn't race the best, and I think it's because he's still on the mend from that injury. So that takes out 2 of his 9 years. So we'll say 7 years. 7 years of actual solid racing and 4 season podiums out of that. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Now, what I noticed in this last season especially is that his riding is starting to resemble Tomac's. You know, that really clean, fast-paced, nailing his line riding, you know, where he can be aggressive when he needs to without being, you know, an asshole about it. He's just got the aggression, the speed, the consistency, everything coming to fruition this past year that I've seen. And especially before last year, I saw his riding struggle in some areas. I believe it was cornering, especially when he's in a battle with somebody. His cornering wasn't the best. He could nail a whoop section like no one's business. You'll see him pass people like nothing in whoop sections. But aside from that, he did have some shortcomings in the past years. But as of last year, watching his racing, I think he's also ironed all of that out. His riding is just great all around now in every second. You know, cornering, speed, whoops, jumps, everything. Even battling head to head with people has improved. I think he still needs to work on that a little, but overall, I think this is going to be a solid year for him, and hopefully he doesn't have those outlier races or any injuries to kind of pull those points away from him. Because if he can just be consistent every race, I think he can pull off this year. And you can tell he really wants it. Like watching last year's and the races where something didn't go his way, you could see he's upset with himself, but he knows like, okay, I got to keep this emotion in check, and I just got to apply this to next race and let's get it done. You know, he doesn't get caught up in that anymore like you've seen in the past, and he's just ready to win. His partner for the HRC Honda team, Chase Sexton. Age at the time of this season, he's going to be 21 years old. And that's pretty young. That's pretty young. He's got a lot of years before he's reaching his peak. So he's a freshie. He's younger than me. Jesus Christ. Dude, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? I'm making videos for you guys. So Chase Sexton, 21 years old when he's going to be racing this 2022 season. Years racing the 450. He's done 1 year for Supercross in the 450s, and he's done 2 for the off-season motocross. So not the most experienced. Like I've explained in the previous videos, these racers are going to have an adjustment period from going from 250 to the 450 class, because you got to relearn, you know, the new bike, the speeds, the weights, riding with new riders, and X, Y, and Z. So there's about a 1 to 3 year learning curve where they don't do the best in their 450 class, but after that, then they pick it up. Chase Sexton was a pretty good rider in 250. I remember watching him. I do think he still might struggle this season with that adjustment period, but he's a good rider. Yeah. He's got, you know, no end of season podiums. He's got no 450 wins yet. He's only raced Supercross for 1 year. So, not terrible stats due to that reason. So yes, in the notes, he is still very new to the 450 class. I wouldn't be surprised if he placed mid to high, single digits this season, since he's only in his second year. Like I said, he's a great rider, but he is still new, so they're kind of button heads, and he is fairly young. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know, he's still got some time to learn. Now this year is really going to prove how great of a rider he is, because like I said, he's still got these things going against him, but if he can catapult and pull off some high ranks at the end of these races and at the end of the season, that'll really shake some things up in some of the older riders. Like, man, this kid's here to win. This kid's serious, because, you know, they might underestimate him at his age and being new in the 450 class. But if he proves them wrong in his second year racing Supercross in the 450s, I think that's going to do a lot in the mental game for him. But if he doesn't, hey, he has time to grow. Like I said, he's 21, peak age is 26. He's got plenty of time to grow. And I think you're going to see you're going to see some longevity out of this kid. He's going to be doing great things. He's going to be pulling a Tomac. Tomac's 29 this season, and he's going to be riding just as strong as he was the past few years. So I think Chase Sexton might follow in that, and he's going to be going for the longevity of it with some great riding later down the road, even if he doesn't do it now. Oh well. So I like to pick a representative for each team at the end of the episode to carry into the final episode. I'm going to give it to Ken Roczen, hands down, because like I said, Chase Sexton's still really young and new to the 450 class. He might surprise us, but Roczen's got it. Roczen's got it for the HRC Honda. Guys, thank you so much for tapping into another video. This is all I have for you today. Next episode, we are going to be looking at the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, and we will be talking about Eli Tomac switching to that team from Kawasaki. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, comment on the video, and guys, we will catch you in the next one.